you're already subscribed, thank you so much for coming back to see today's video. And if you're new, welcome. I am Bethany Shanae, and my channel is dedicated to documenting my journey to lose over 120 pounds through diet and exercise naturally, as well as get healthy mentally and physically. I'm not a medical professional. This is never medical advice. I'm simply sharing my experience on my journey and any tips or tricks I find along the way. So if you enjoyed today's video, which will be a weekly meal prep video, or any of my grocery hauls or vlogs or weekly updates, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'd love to have you along for my journey. So let's jump into today's video. It's gonna be super quick. I didn't eat all my meal preps last week. If you saw the weekly update video, I ate out a lot and didn't do what I was supposed to. So I have some leftover turkey and zucchini bowls that I'll be eating for lunches this week. So today we're just going to do breakfast and dinner. I need to make 5 breakfasts and 4 dinners. Friday night I will be flying out to San Diego. I won't need dinner for that day. So we're going to start with my breakfast egg cups. I have 14 eggs in here. Each week I'm going to do the egg count and the cottage cheese measurement a little different depending on how the previous weeks came out. The first week I did 15 eggs and a cup of cottage cheese. It was a little too quiche-like. And then last week I did 13 eggs and half a cup of cottage cheese, and that was just a little too, it was a little too eggy texture. So we're going to do 14 eggs and 2/3 of a cup of cottage cheese this time. I use the full fat cottage cheese. To season, I'm going to do onion powder, probably about a teaspoon. I'm out of everything garlic, so I have no more garlic powder, no more of my Yellowstone cracked pepper garlic seasoning. I need to buy more of that when I get back to town. I'm going to do some Tony Chachere's The Bold seasoning, just to give it a little kick and a little more flavor. That already smells good. About a teaspoon of that too. It's not coming out very fast. And I'm also going to do some of my Cavender's Greek all-purpose seasoning. This is a great all-purpose seasoning. About a teaspoon of that too. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this, and I'll be done in a snap. And just like that, it's done. So here we have the egg mixture. I'm going to do kind of a carnivore. Oh, it is carnivore today, huh? So I'm going to do like a carnivore breakfast egg cup. Here are my 2 silicone jumbo muffin pans. I have already sprayed them with nonstick spray. And I have already cooked up a 1/4 pound of pork sausage. This is about less than a 1/4 pound of that diced ham that I had from a while ago. One of the first egg cup recipes I did. And then I also cooked up 3 slices of bacon and chopped it up small. So I just mixed them all together, and I've let it cool quite a bit. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to, you know what, actually, let's do it a little different this week, eh? Let's put the toppings in first. That way I can see that the mix-ins are even, you know? It's not going to be a lot in each. You know what, I'll speed up this part for you guys. Alright, y'all, so now that we've got the meat in there, let's go ahead and try putting the cheese in first, too. I've got probably about half a cup of medium cheddar left over. So I'm going to put a good pinch in each. Alright, y'all, so now that we've got all the meat and the cheese in the egg cups, we're just going to fill them up. Now, because I'm using cottage cheese in this and blending it, I do not need to worry about it puffing up like I would if it was just a regular egg cup. If you just do eggs and toppings and you blend it up like this to make egg cups, the eggs are going to rise, and that's okay. Just know that. You'll have to take that into account when you're filling the egg tins. Because I did add cottage cheese, something was very off with my equation today. Alright, y'all, so I don't know how, but somehow the egg and cottage cheese mixture wasn't enough to fill them all, so I'm actually going to put a little bit of water in this one, the empty one, just because since I already sprayed the non-stick spray in there, if you just cook it and don't put anything in there, it's gonna stick to it and create like this brown, weird, like film. It gets really hard, it becomes really hard to get off. So we're gonna do a water bath. So I have 3.5 cups of water. I'm just putting it down below. Ooh, some got in the pan, oh well. Oh! I got some water in the eggs. Today is today. So we're gonna go ahead and top these with foil relatively tightly. Now, if you put cheese on top of yours, you want to make sure not to let the foil touch the top of the egg muffins. So my oven's been preheating to 325. I'm going to put this in there for about an hour. I'm going to also, the oven's been preheating at 325. So I'm going to put these in there for about an hour on the middle rack because we're going to put the chicken on the bottom rack. Alright, y'all, so now we're going to make my dinners for the week. I have 8 chicken thighs. I always eat 2 chicken thighs at a time. It's just how I like to eat them. I have marinated them in Kinder's sugar-free, or I think it's called zero sugar, teriyaki sauce. I added a little bit of sriracha from a packet. I also added a little bit of allulose and a splash of vinegar because I didn't have a lot of the dressing left, and then I put in about 1/2 cup of water as well. So this is very watered down. I'm just gonna cook these in the oven at the 325 as well for probably an hour to an hour and a half. These are fresh out of the fridge. And I'm gonna put the small ones, whenever you have meat of different sizes and you're putting it in a pan like this, you want to make sure that the smaller ones are towards the center of the pan because the heat's coming from the perimeter as well as the top and the bottom. But that means that the ones that are in the outer corners are going to get more heat to them because they're going to have these 2 sides to get heat from as well. Versus the chicken in the center is just going to have that side, the top and the bottom. So I'm going to add the liquid in here because once this chicken's just about done, I'm going to dump in a couple bags of frozen vegetables. And that will be my dinners. Oh, I might have forgot to tell you guys, I sprayed this pan with non-stick spray first. I start everything that way, okay? I just don't like stuff getting stuck on. The reason why I'm not putting the vegetables on top of the chicken when I first put it in the oven is because since they're frozen, I don't want the chicken, I don't want it to slow down the chicken cooking all the way. I need the chicken to become completely cooked, and then I'll add in the veggies later. So I'm gonna put this in my 325 oven, also for an hour. It's only been about 3 minutes since I put the egg cups in there, so they'll be done around the same time, and I'll show you what I do with the frozen veggies after. Alright, y'all, so everything has come out of the oven. I realized why the egg cups are getting a little browned on the top, if you can see there. It's because I'm overcooking them. I'm losing track of time, and I'm leaving them in there, so we need to start setting timers. Next week, or in 2 weeks from now, really, when I do the next meal prep video, I think I'm going to do 45 minutes and set a timer. It just sucks because you can't really stick a toothpick in them if you have the cheese in there. Because what sticks to it could be cheese, could be uncooked egg, you don't know. But I did 325 for a little over an hour. So they might have even been good at an hour, but next time I'm going to start out at 45 to 50 minutes. And this is what they look like on the inside. If you can see there. I took a bite. It's really good. I'm going to have that one for dinner. That's that extra one that I had. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have exactly what I need left for the week. And then here, I just microwaved 2 Great Value, which is the Walmart brand, bags of broccoli. They used to be like 67 cents a bag or something like that. Now they're like $1.15 or whatever, but that's okay because this is 2 bags, so that's $2 between 4 meals. It's only 50 cents a meal. And I'm going to put the chicken thighs and the sauce over the broccoli. So if you see here, try not to drip the sauce. They are beautifully browned. I did leave these in a little too long as well. These were in for about an hour and 45 minutes. Again, I just lost track of time. I'm going to close this up and show you how I plate the chicken and broccoli. So if you notice, there's some that are bigger than others. So I like to take a big one and then a really small one. I want to start by ladling some of this sauce over. I don't just want to pour it. And this is going to flavor the broccoli. This sauce actually came out really good. Let's do a ladle and a half for each. All right, y'all, and that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for coming to see it. I am really grateful. These meals came out so delicious. I'm super excited. I'm also excited for my trip, but I do want to point out that these two, it took me, 10 minutes maybe to get these two recipes put together and then into the oven, and the oven did the rest for the next hour. In that hour, I could have had something going in my Instant Pot. I could have had a soup on the stove. I could have made burgers on the stove or chicken breasts for salads. You can definitely do affordable, healthy, and quick meal prep on a budget. And I'm really excited to have these meals this week. I feel like this is a really successful meal prep and super flavorful. Again, the teriyaki sauce that I used for my teriyaki chicken thighs for my dinners was the Kinder's Zero Sugar or No Sugar. I forget how they word it, but it was their teriyaki sauce. I had a little bit of allulose, a splash of vinegar, and a little bit of sriracha as well. And then I also used water just to thin it out and dilute it. And yeah, y'all. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming back to see today's video and making it to the end. I appreciate all the support that you guys give me on my channel. It really gives me the motivation to keep going and keep putting out content like this. It is truly a passion of mine, so thank you guys so much. Again, I am Bethany Shanae, and if you enjoyed this video or if you try any of these recipes, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I would love to hear your comments and your thoughts about what I made, and if you give it a try down below. And I'd also love you to subscribe and come along with me on my journey. So thank you guys again, and I love y'all. See you on the next one. Bye!